Holy crap. It's broad daylight in Georgia. Federal agents storming an elections office with guns drawn, seizing boxes of old ballots and hard drives from 6 years ago. Not because there's new evidence of a crime, but because the guy in the White House lost there and still can't let it go. That's exactly what went down today, January 28, 2026, in Fulton County, right outside Atlanta. The FBI raiding the place like it's a mob den, all over the 2020 election that everyone's moved on from except Donald Trump. Man, this hits me hard. I've prosecuted election fraud cases, real ones with fake votes and stuffed boxes. But this smells like revenge, pure and simple, and it's got me raging because if they can do this to a county office, what's next for anyone who crosses the administration? All right, folks, pull up a chair. I'm that former prosecutor who's seen the inside of too many courtrooms, and I'm breaking this down for you straight, no spin. We've got a narrative here that's wilder than any thriller, building from Trump's obsession with Georgia to this raid that's lighting up every newsfeed. Let's start at the beginning, because context matters, and if you don't get the build-up, you'll miss why this is such a powder keg. Flashback to 2020. Georgia, battleground state. Biden wins by a razor-thin 11,679 votes. Trump flips out, calls Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, that infamous phone call where he says, "Find me the votes," per the transcript released back then. Courts, recounts, audits, all say no fraud, clean election. But Trump and his crew keep pushing. Fake electors, pressure on officials, the whole mess. Fast forward to August 2023, Fulton County DA Fani Willis drops the hammer, indicts Trump and 18 others, including Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows for racketeering, conspiracy to overturn the results. It's huge. RICO charges like they're a criminal enterprise. But then, scandal hits Willis. Romantic fling with her lead prosecutor Nathan Wade, appearance of impropriety. Courts tossed the case in November 2023, as reported by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution at the time. Trump skates, calls it a hoax, but the damage is done. Fulton's in the crosshairs. Now, Trump wins in 2024, back in office January 2025. He doesn't forget, starts talking election integrity, appoints loyalists to DOJ. By December 2025, they sue Fulton County Clerk Shaye Alexander, the one handling court records, for not handing over 2020 docs. According to the lawsuit filed in federal court, they wanted ballots, envelopes, digital files to assess compliance. Alexander fights back, motion to dismiss, says it's overreach. But the state election board, stacked with conservatives since 2024, keeps probing. Subpoenas in October 2025 for void ballots, stubs, everything. They even reprimanded the county in May 2024 for sloppy recount handling, no fraud, just mess-ups, but reopened it later against Democratic objections. Enter today, FBI rolls up to the Fulton County election hub in Union City, court-authorized warrant in hand. Agents grab records tied to 2020, ballots, machines, logs. FBI Spock says it's law enforcement action, no details, ongoing probe. County spokesperson Jessica Corbett Dominguez confirms it's 2020 related, but clams up while they're there. This isn't random. Trump just last week predicted prosecutions over 2020, as quoted in his rally speech covered by Reuters. And get this, it's part of a pattern. DOJ's going after Trump's enemies, raiding ex-FBI Director Comey's home last month, probing NYAG Letitia James for her old Trump suits. Even swapped out the Atlanta FBI top agent Paul W. Brown in October 2025, no explanation, per insider leaks to Politico. Can you imagine being one of those election workers? Folks like Ruby Freeman and Shaye Moss, already harassed back in 2020, death threats, doxing. Now this raid stirs it all up again. Freeman won a defamation suit against Giuliani in 2023, $148 million, but he's bankrupt. She's still fighting. This raid? It's like pouring gas on embers. Democrats are furious. Georgia Senator John Ossoff calls it authoritarian tactics, demands congressional oversight. Governor Brian Kemp, Republican but no Trump fan, stays quiet, probably doesn't want the heat. But Fani Willis, out of office now but vocal, tells CNN this afternoon it's retaliation for daring to prosecute a president. She's right. I've seen vendettas in cases, but from the feds? Chilling. Let's break it down analytically, like I would prepping a trial. First, legal basis. Warrant means a judge signed off, probable cause for a crime. But what crime? Old fraud claims debunked 50-plus times in courts. Cyber Ninja's audit in Arizona found nothing. Georgia's 3 recounts confirmed Biden. So, is this phishing? DOJ says it's about federal election laws, but critics like the ACLU argue it's violating states' rights under the 10th Amendment. Broader implications. Midterms coming in November 2026. Georgia's key. This intimidates officials. Think twice before certifying if it's close. And ties to national stuff. Trump's pushing Election Integrity Act in Congress, mandatory voter ID, purges. If they find something in Fulton, it justifies it all. The drama's escalating fast. Protests outside the office today, hundreds chanting, "Stop the steal," of our rights. Clashes with counter-protesters waving Trump flags. Social media's exploding. Fulton raid trending. Memes of FBI as Gestapo. Even international watchers. BBC calls it echoes of authoritarianism. And whispers of more. Sources to the New York Times say DOJ's eyeing Raffensperger next, maybe for obstruction. If that drops, it's civil war in politics. It pisses me off when justice gets twisted like this. I put away real crooks, embezzlers, vote tamperers who hurt democracy. But using the FBI for grudges? That's how trust crumbles. Remember Watergate? Started with a break-in, ended a presidency. This could be Trump's Watergate if leaks show political orders. We need whistleblowers, independent probes, maybe a special counsel, though with AG Pam Bondi in charge, fat chance. Where's it headed? If they charge someone, like ex-officials, it reignites 2020 fights, divides the country more. Or if nothing comes, it's just harassment, wasting taxpayer bucks. Either way, damage done. As a former prosecutor, I say, demand transparency, release the warrant affidavit, push Congress to investigate DOJ abuses, vote in leaders who respect the rule of law, not bend it. This one's got me fired up, folks. Democracy's fragile, and raids like this chip away at it. If it shook you too, smash that like, subscribe for more raw breakdowns. What's your take? Political payback or legit probe? Drop it below. Stay engaged, because silence lets this crap continue.